This is a beautiful day. It's late September. Our growing season out here is almost over. I'm shooting this where we have 80 individual gardens for people that live at Becketwood. I'm Dale. I live here at Becketwood, and this is one of my favorite spots. Summer, when I met a friend out here to go for a walk, she suggested this video. She said, "You say people sometimes don't move to Becketwood because they don't want to give up their backyard." She said, "Well, I would move here for this backyard." Well, our backyard, or our yard, consists of a lot of various areas. We have 11 acres of space. And in that, we have our wild bird sanctuary. We have a wildflower garden with its paths and its benches to sit on and rest and reflect and be out in nature. We have our flower beds scattered throughout our 11 acres and around our building. We have our more formal English gardens in front of our chapel. We have a lot of spaces. This summer, I asked some of our gardeners what they liked about having their own gardening space here at Becketwood.
Here's my tomato. Look at that happy tomato in there. And lots of new ones coming, lots of buds. You know, lots of them that are just like the size of a cherry tomato, but they're going to get bigger. I love this garden. It gives me all I need, just the right size.
When I came to Becketwood and heard that I could have a little garden, I really jumped at that opportunity. And this has been a glorious experience to have just enough space so I can plant a few flowers. And then I come out here every day to see it and to pick a weed or two and to tell them how lovely they are.
This is my garden. I'm sort of a frustrated landscape architect, even though I don't know anything about landscaping and about architecture. But I have little terraces here and some ground cover, and this is just the right size, 5 by 7, and it mostly takes care of itself, and it's really fun. I come look at it, water it, and do a little weeding, and it's just great.
My little plot here is a pretty small replica of the garden we left, but Ruth and I just get a real charge out of this and the flowers. And in fact, this year, out of the 3 we've had, this is by far the most satisfying one.
I hesitate to call this postage stamp a garden. No, I have to think about it.
You're saying it's awfully small for a garden for you?
I've never had a garden this small. Of course, you see, I plant vegetables, so I like to eat them.
But I read something about square foot gardening a long time ago, and so I just kind of plant, like I planted the beans on top of the lettuce, and I planted the flowers in the middle of the zucchini. To me, it's a symbol of growth and abundance, and I like that. So I love to come out, just watch it grow. Several things appealed to me when I learned about Becketwood, and I went on the website and I talked to people. One of it was having garden space. One was that there's a compost bin, and I was happy that there was going to be an environmental committee, which I joined immediately.
I enjoy other people's gardens. That's you know, how many we have? 80 some. So we can enjoy everybody's. I thought of that at the band concert. How many people kept walking through the garden. One of the positive things is that if they got too much of something at one time, we can share it.
They make it so easy because they give you a raised bed, and then they bring you compost in the beginning of the season, and that's why everything is thriving. And then it's beautiful, and you see all your friends. Gardening was my life before I came here. I would not have survived in a place where I couldn't dig in the dirt.
Okay, I'm delighted to have a garden. I've never had one before that was all mine that I could fool around in. And this is just the right size. It's like a big dining room table. And my garden is an experiment, ongoing, always a little bit different. And I kind of learn by doing, so I have to ask a lot of advice and then practice. Just right, I can use that size.
Gardens was one of the big things that brought me here, because I love to watch stuff grow. I have some peppers, which I like, and zucchini squash. I love zucchini, so, and cucumber, a little bit of everything.
Well, in my lifetime, I've been responsible for anywhere from 200 to 1,000 acres. And this is the first time in my life I've ever been able to get by with a 4x8, so it's a treat for me.
I grow tomatoes because my father grew them. I never gardened in my life. Not a gardener. My dad grew the best tomatoes anybody ever knew. And so I just kind of figured if he could do it, I could do it too. And so that's why I grow tomatoes and peppers. And that's about it. Most important of all, gives me a chance to come out here and enjoy a martini while I watch them grow.
This has been my plot for 15 years. My husband and I fertilized it well, and it has served me well all these years. I always have tomatoes. Everything is getting taken over by these cucumbers this year. This is what I do in the spring and the summer, and I love it. And when you're out in the garden, you always are making friends.
Now, I love having my garden plot, and I feel like I have a big garden because I can enjoy everybody else's plots and only have a little small one to take care of myself. I love my dahlias.
When we moved here, it was one of the things that drew us to Becketwood was the chance to have a little plot that we could work on and experiment with. I love the diversity of the gardens at Becketwood. There was so much color and variety. At a Sunday forum, we were talking about sanctuary, and sanctuary is important to me in the gardens. I love to come out early and just take time to look around and breathe in the scents and see the sights.
One of the reasons I moved here was because I could have a garden. I love my garden. It's my therapy when I come home from work. It's my meditation in the morning. It just brings me great joy. The color, the working in the ground, being able to just putter. It's a wonderful community experience. You meet people out here that you don't see in the winter. And out here, you see everyone and have great conversations.
This is our backyard. Beautiful, productive, peaceful, serene. Place to work in the dirt or to relax, drink a martini, socialize, or to meditate. That's our backyard.